Hello, and welcome to Cocktails with a Twist of History, your digital destination for all things cocktails. Old time pirates have always interested me, and there are a few pirates that are as famous as Blackbeard. Pirates, of course, are associated with rum and rum cocktails because they operated in the Caribbean. Blackbeard's Ghost was created by a tiki historian named Jeff Beachbum Berry. He formulated the cocktail in 1994 as an improvement on a cocktail called Pirate's Grog. It's considered a tiki cocktail because it has rum and the tropical flavors. Okay, I've been talking way too long without a cocktail in my hand. Let's make a Blackbeard's Ghost. It is a shaken cocktail, so we are going to need our shaker. And it has two different kinds of rum, as a lot of the tiki drinks do. And instead of a lot of the tropical spices, it relies on some of the modifiers. We're going to do a little bit of a trick to get the flavors that we want. Okay, we are going to need a light rum and a dark rum. So here we go. We need 1.5 ounces of light rum. So let's put our light rum into the shaker. Hold on, 1.5 ounces light rum. And now we're going to put a dark rum, sometimes called a Demerara rum. This is a Jamaican rum, and we're going to need 1/2 ounce. There we go, 1/2 ounce of the rum. Now, we are going to need, it says 1.5 ounces of orange juice. I think that's quite a bit. I'm going to use slightly less than that. But here we go. For orange juice, we have our lemon juice. Now, instead of the Falernum, which is like a tiki spice, it's very interesting. It has a lot of clove and things like that. I'm going to use a bitters, which is made for tiki drinks. And we're going to put that in, and this will give us those flavors that we're looking. Okay, now very interesting. This one happens to also have Angostura bitters. We're going to have 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. 1, 2. There's our 2 dashes. And now it actually has apricot liqueur, 1/2 ounce of apricot liqueur. We are going to put that in. Here's our apricot liqueur, 1/2 ounce of the apricot liqueur. There we go. Now, we are going to put our ice in. And like we always say, gotta have a lot of ice. And we're going to save some of the ice for the old-fashioned glass. Actually have a larger old-fashioned glass over here. But we're going to put a lot of this ice in there and in here. There we go. We have our shaker. Put our top on. Make sure it's nice and secured, of course. Don't want it to go all over the place. I always say, make sure that finger is over there. And then we're going to shake. Now, this is probably going to be a little bit more shakeful than some of the other ones. Here we go. And there we go. I think that is good. Some of them I've seen, you just shake it and you dump it with the ice. Here we're going to do it like this. And we're going to put it, oh, this is perfect. Now, typically this gets an orange or an orange peel and a cherry. I don't have any right now, so we're going to have to rough it and put on a piece of a nectarine because it still goes nicely with it. And cheers. Oh, that is really, really good. The rums go so nicely with the apricot and the bitters. Oh, wow. This could be one of my favorite cocktails now. The Blackbeard's Ghost, 2 different kinds of rum. That is a really nice cocktail. Blackbeard himself was born as Edward Teach, or Thatch, and he was born in 1680, possibly in Bristol, England. He was an English pirate who operated around the West Indies and the eastern coast of Britain's North African colonies, mostly from 1716 to 1718. He may have been a sailor on a privateering ship during Queen Anne's War, and before that, he was a sailor on various other ships. Later on, he settles in an island called New Providence. Teach had captured a French slave ship known as the La Concorde, renamed her the Queen Anne's Revenge, and equipped her with 40 guns and a crew of over 300 men. His nickname was derived from the beard that he had and this menacing appearance that he always had. It was reported that he would tie slow-burning wicks into his beard and light them on fire, and that would give a much more menacing appearance. He formed an alliance with a bunch of pirates and caused a blockade of the port of Charlestown, and that was in South Carolina. And he ransomed it for a lot of money that the inhabitants had to pay. Blackbeard was a shrewd and calculating leader, and rather than violence at first, he would count on his reputation, and he would try and get what he wanted from the people instead of going and killing them, meaning he would scare them into giving up their cargo. This guy named Alexander Spotswood was a governor of Virginia, and Spotswood arranged for soldiers and sailors to capture him. And on November 22nd, 1718, following a fearsome battle, Blackbeard and several of his crew were killed. Blackbeard is romanticized after his death and became the inspiration for many books and movies. As always, if you have more pieces of the history, we want to know it. You can put it in the comments, you can send it to us by email, or you can tell it to the bottle. We want to know. Also, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and send a link of this show to somebody else so they can enjoy Cocktails with a Twist of History. Thank you.